Welcome back to Access Houston on 97.9 The Box.
Good Sunday morning. You're listening to Access Houston. I'm your host, KG Smooth. Welcoming back. He is the founder of the Chauncey Glover Project, but mainly you see him on your television screens on ABC 13 as a news anchor and reporter. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chauncey Glover back in the building. What's up, man?
How you doing, Chris? Thanks for having me.
Good to see you. I'm glad to be here. No, it's all good. Chris, KG, you know, the K stands for
But you know,
Chris.
I can say Chris because we go back to when we were both starting out in Columbus, Georgia.
Yeah,
fresh out of college.
Man, those were some years ago. Yeah, and you have brought with you your project coordinator for the Chauncey Glover Project, the lovely Christina Porter.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello. Thank you.
And you have also brought an incredible young man who is a part of the Chauncey Glover Project, one of your mentees. Is that what he would be?
Yes, sir.
Mr.
Yes, sir.
Quinton Hayes. Good
nice
morning,
to meet
sir.
you. Good morning.
Pleasure. So, Chauncey, for those who may not know, tell us about the Chauncey Glover Project and how it was birthed. Incredible story, by the way, people.
Gotcha. Thank you, KG. So I started the Chauncey Glover Project 5 years ago. I was working in Detroit at the time. I was a reporter for the NBC station there. And I got sent on a breaking news story, as I often did almost every single night there in Detroit. And two students at Martin Luther King Jr. Senior High School had robbed the basketball coach, or they tried to rob him. He had a gun. He shot both of them, both of the students, and they found one when they got to the scene. They could not find the other one. So I'm getting mic'd up and getting my IFB on and getting ready to report live from the breaking news scene. And I see in the median something moving, and I go over there, and it's the other young man. And he's gasping for breath and trying to get breath and survive. But and I started yelling for help. Sadly, that young man did not survive. He died. And I just couldn't get that moment, those images out of my mind. So I went back to that young man's school. I talked with the principal and teachers, and I started to mentor some of his friends. At first I asked for 10. I was like, can I have 10 of his friends? And they turned out to be 15. It was the Fearless 14, our first CGP class, and we mentored them for a year, and we sent them all to college, and it just kind of snowballed from there. We just kept going and going. It turned into 501c3, and now we're a full hands-on mentoring service that I brought here to Houston last year. So this is our second year here in town.
Yeah, that's an amazing story. How was your mental space with? I'm sure being a news reporter with having to report tragedies such as the one that you explained that happened in Detroit. How is your mental health and your colleagues? Like, how do you all cope? I pray that you all go to some sort of talk therapy or sit on somebody's couch.
It does. It gets tough. And I was talking to a few of my coworkers after Santa Fe that we had to cover here, and we were talking about the difference of covering it from a national standpoint when we see it happening in other places versus. Oh no, this is our city. These are people that we know. These are, So I am a man of faith. So I'm constantly in prayer. And one thing that I promised myself my third year as a journalist, I don't bring it home. If it's still on my mind, I stay at work. I do whatever I got to do. I talk it out. I'll sit in the garage, or I'll sit, outside the house and think it out, pray about it. But I don't take it home. I don't take it inside of my house.
How tough is that?
Very tough. It gets tough because I'm a person who I genuinely care. Like I don't ask people for interviews. I just don't tell stories, but I care about the people. When we talk to the mom who's lost her son, or we talk to a kid whose father has been murdered, I care about these people first, care about them, and then I care about the story. So it can be hard. It can be hard, and I try to be one of those journalists who's not all about the story, but about the impact.
Indeed. You listen to Access Houston. We're talking to Chauncey Glover of ABC 13, more importantly of the Chauncey Glover Project Houston. He's also here with Christina Porter, the project coordinator, and Quinton Hayes, who's one of the mentees. So, Christina, Tell us about your job with being the project coordinator for the Chauncey Glover project. How is it working with this guy?
Oh, that's fun. Oh no, it's great working with Chauncey. We get along great, and we have the same passion. So it's just it's just what we do. Some people I guess call us the dynamic duo, and I guess that's what we are. We understand the need and the passion for the work, and so it just kind of comes naturally to us. So
what was it about this his project, that his nonprofit, that made you want to be a part?
Well, I'm an educator by my trade, so I'm a school counselor.
Okay.
In that, of course, my job is to take care of all my kids, make sure I direct them on the path to making them the best individuals that they can be. But also outside of that, a few years ago, I started working with a program that was birthed by my sorority, which is a college and career readiness program for high school students. So I was asked to head that on as a coordinator for the program, and glad to say that it became very successful. 3 out of the last 4 years we won at the regional level as being recognized as the best of the best with going with that. So in a part of that program, it is steering African American students, boys and girls, into going to college, preparing for their careers, the next level. So around that time, we were preparing for some things, and as a part of me dealing with students, I like to make sure that I put them in the best position possible to get to see people who are older than them, adults who are doing some of the things that they may like to do, or just knowing that just being Black in this community, that they can be anything that they want to be. So I
really
try
can.
to so I try to
we
put
are
them,
the first people,
absolutely,
just in case you didn't know.
So I try to put them in contact and be in the space of people like Chauncey. And so, I happened to see, I think it was time for, about the time he was talking about, he must have won an award or was, preparing for the Gala in Detroit. And there were some articles that came out about the Chauncey Glover project. And so when I read the article, I was like, oh, and just kind of read about the program and what they do, to me, it was like, oh, I could, like, this is what I do, and I was like, oh my goodness, I got to get him to meet my kids, so that they can kind of learn from some of the things that he's doing. So I was able to reach out to him and ask him to come and partner with my program to meet my kids and introduce them, himself to them, and, just kind of answer any questions. And he was able to come to an event that we had. And so that's kind of how the Chauncey Quincy duo was birthed. And so after that, he reached out and said that he was starting his program here in Houston and, wanted my help. And so here I am today, a year later.
Yeah, it's the second annual.
Awesome work. She does awesome work with
us. Yeah. And this thing is gonna be great. The second annual Chauncey Glover Project Houston's Black Tie Gala, where this year's theme is "There is King in Me." And we have a young king, or a prince, I guess I should say. No, you're okay. Oh, he is the king. Oh, excuse me. Is this your king?
Right. So
exactly.
His part in the show is really he's the king.
Yes.
Is this your king? So, Quinton, why did you want to be a part of the Chauncey Glover project?
I mean, I'm gonna be very honest. I didn't even tell Chauncey how I really just ended up at his at him talking at my school. Like, when my friends told me about it, they were like, "Oh, DK, well, that's the nickname I have for myself." They was like, "DK, there's this dude from TV. He's at school." And they were like, "Bro, I really don't want to go to class. I really want to go see what he's talking about. So come on, let's see what he's talking about. Maybe we can get an autograph and a picture, and just et cetera." And I'm like, okay, cool. Because in my head, I'm like, maybe I can talk to him and he can help me with my, being in business and trying to do music, because that's what I do. That's how I am.
Did you know who he was?
I didn't even know. I'm just like, he can help me with my music. I'm signed to my family, basically just CMF, and it's just like, okay, talk to him, network, pick up some trading, and then I'll just move on, because he's a very important man. Obviously, he's very busy, so I'm like, I'm not gonna press myself onto him. I'm just gonna ask him questions and get some answers, and hopefully get some good advice. And when I went in there and I was listening to him talk, and I was listening to the story he told us, I was like, you don't see a lot of people that actually care about us not only as people but as race and as ethnicity, and seeing that he's a black male who's accomplished so much at such a young age, I was like, he's exactly where I want to be at 5 years, 10 years from now. So when he was talking, I told him exactly what I've been through, being affected by Harvey, being homeless, staying with my uncle, and I still had the opportunity to go to, to be able to apply to college and be actually accepted by the colleges, not only because of who I am, but because of my grades. Not because of my connections, but because of what I can do, no matter the color of my skin or who I am. And at a young age, I was always taught, be who you want to be, not who they expect you to be.
That's right.
And getting into the CGP program, it showed me that not only are you strong enough, but well educated enough to do what you want to do, but it also shows you that you can affect the people around you with what you're doing. And since then, I've just been trying to get my younger friends, my brothers, my cousins to look at what I'm doing so they can know, hey, we don't have to go and be on the corner doing whatever or anything like that.
You ain't got to be with the riffraff.
That's how you break the cycle. It's a lot of people that understand you can't go in and fix an entire family, but he will have his younger brothers, his younger sisters who say, hey, Quinton went to college. I need to go to college. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing these young men learn and take away a lot of things from CGP and taking it back home to their family members, their younger brothers and sisters. And that's, I feel, how we break the cycle.
No doubt. You're listening to Access Houston. We're talking to Chauncey Glover of the Chauncey Glover Project, the Houston Black Tie Gala. This year's theme, There Is a King in Me. That is happening on Friday, June 22nd. They're going to hold the second annual Black Tie Gala. It's going to be at the Hobby Center for the Performing Arts, 7 p.m. What can people look forward to at this Black Tie Gala? That's Friday. Oh, I got to put a suit in the cleaners. But
you do.
Let me tell you, and
forward
Houston
to?
loves to dress up. Last year, I hit the red carpet and I was turning around and I was seeing everybody. So they were all dressed up. So grab those tuxes and your suits, and ladies, your gowns and dresses. So this year, we don't do a regular sit down chicken dinner gala.
It's not your average banquet chicken.
It's not. So this is a show. I talk with the boys, we work with them, and I write a show based on them. And they put the show on stage. They talk about their struggles, they talk about their tribulations, and but mostly they talk about their triumphs and what they've had to overcome and where they're going. And it's a great show. Last year, people didn't know what to expect, and KG, they were crying, they were laughing. But most of all, most people told me that they left very inspired by these young men and their stories. And you will not believe what some of these young men have gone through. Even Quinton, he inspires me to be young, and he describes having to in his monologue, he describes being young and having to sleep on a park bench, with his mom holding him, his younger brothers and sisters, being a child and, walking through traffic, trying to get to school or trying to go to get food. And they've been through some of these things, but to see how they've turned it around, and now he's heading to Lamar University. We have some who are headed to Texas A&M, to see their stories and how they did not allow their circumstances to be their final story. Yeah, that's the most inspiring thing, is from my standpoint.
And that's what you get. I'm sure that is what you get out of it, because there's nothing. That's such a great feeling to know, and to know that. What we do. I mean, you're an educator. I mean, you're the most important person at this table. To know what we do that has an impact on people, and we don't even know it. You know what I mean? Just the smallest thing. You can mention, I don't know, a book that you've read, and people are going, oh, well, I heard Chauncey mention this book. Let me go check it out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or me on the radio talking about, some album that I listened to that I think is great. And
we
want to share
take
that.
The time to kind of, to know that these young kids out here, they're searching for that. Even with him, when I came to his school and to speak, I talked with him. I knew there was something special about Quinton. And I told him then, I said, I'm going to get you in my program. I said, and at that time we had already started. We
Yeah.
had accepted all the students. And I think when I
Yeah,
left the
as
school,
soon as he left the
I
school,
told Chrissy.
he called me and he was like, Chrissy, there's something about this kid.
I did. And I said, we got to
So,
get him into the
okay,
program.
Well, clearly there is,
Yeah,
because
so here we are.
with all of them. So where can people get more information about the gala on Friday?
They can go to any of my social media pages. I'm on Instagram at Chauncey on TV and Facebook, as well as Twitter. Just type in Chauncey Glover. We have the flyers and all of the ticket information. Also, you can buy tickets on the Hobby website. Just go to the Hobby Center website, and then you'll find the Chauncey Glover Project event, and you can buy your tickets there. And I promise you, it will be worth it.
It's an amazing show. It's going to be so amazing. We have such an amazing group of boys. They're committed. They've been dedicated. I mean, we've been with them all year long since last May. And so to see them, come through this last year and finally here we are at the end. And it's going to be very, very bittersweet.
They're so talented.
And they are.
We got singers. We've got, actors. They're acting. We've got spoken word, his monologue. I mean, I just can't even hear his monologue all the way through without just getting chill bumps.
Okay,
but,
you got y'all.
yeah.
Okay, y'all are selling this because y'all got me excited.
It's gonna be good.
Okay, Tori, make it happen for your bro. Yeah, so save the date for Friday.
Yes.
Y'all got me excited about this. I cannot wait because I missed last year. I think I was out of town because I know you were on the program, but I wasn't in town, so I missed it. But I'm in town this year, so I will be there Friday. Houston, we hope to see you there Friday. Just log on to all of Chauncey's social media platforms to get all of the information, or the Hobby Center's website to get the information on the second annual Chauncey Glover Project Houston's Black Tie Gala. With this year's theme, There is a King in Me. So, Quinton, thank you for coming through.
Oh, no, thank you for having me.
Christina, nice to meet you.
Likewise.
And, of course, the Emmy Award-winning Chauncey Glover. Thank you, sir.
Always a pleasure, Katie.
Good Sunday morning. You're listening to Access Houston. I'm your host, KG Smooth. I have on the phone line the star of Disney Channel's original movies, Descendants 2 and 3, and she is also on the CW superhero show, Black Lightning. Ladies and gentlemen, China Anne McClain. Hi, China.
Hi, KG.
How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. It is a pleasure to talk to you.
You as well.
Yes. So first, I want to say congratulations on the huge success of Black Lightning. I understand it's been picked up for another season, one of my favorite shows at the moment, and you're doing a great job. How is it working on that set?
Oh, well, first of all, that's so sweet. Thank you. And it's really a dream come true. I mean, I don't know an actor that doesn't want to play a superhero. So I'm really having an amazing time. The cast is absolutely wonderful. We all get along very well. So it's been a dream. It really has. And I'm really glad you like the show.
Yes, I do. And not only do you get to play a superhero on television, but you're also being a superhero in real life by helping kids miss less school in communities through dental hygiene. So talk about the correlation between the two so our listening audience can understand how kids can miss less school through dental hygiene.
Well, Children's Health Fund recently conducted a review and found the effects of poor oral hygiene when you're young, things like oral pain, negatively impact a child's education. And dental pain in children is linked to things like trouble sleeping and eating, increased school absence, difficulty paying attention, lower standardized test scores. And I got to tell you, I had no clue about any of this before I started working with the Guardians of the Smile program. My eyes were really opened.
Yeah, that now that you mentioned that, okay, that makes sense. Through the whatever oral problems that the child may be having, they're not sleeping, they're irritated, in pain, which can affect one's learning. Okay, I get that.
Yeah.
So how did you become a part of this campaign?
Well, when I heard about the Guardians of the Smile program, I instantly wanted to be a part of it because, like oral hygiene has always been very important to me, but dealing with kids, they threw kids into it, and I was like, oh, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So as you already know, I guess, I play a superhero in Black Lightning, and I wanted to team up with another superhero, the Tooth Guardian, to help bring quality dental care to children in underserved communities across the U.S.
Well, indeed, you are definitely being one of the tooth guardian. You're listening to Access Houston. We are talking to China Anne McClain from the CW hit show Black Lightning. Some of you may remember her from the Disney Channel original movie Descendants 2 and 3. A lot of us remember her from House of Pain back in the day and Daddy's Little Girl, but now she is all grown up and doing great things in the community. Has being active in the community, is that something that you've always been a part to make sure that, everyday people are doing all right?
Oh, yeah, and in every way that I can. I actually have a really big child audience because of Disney. I've been working with Disney since I was 11.
Right.
Well, actually, even before that. So I have a lot of kids that listen to me, thankfully, and I really want to use that platform in a positive way. So I just always try and help out in any way that I can. I try and use my social media not to really post selfies. I mean, I do that too, but to help in any way that I can with the kids and their confidence and the way that they feel, which is why I'm working with Guardians of the Smile, because your smile is such a big part of your face. It's such a big part of your confidence.
Indeed.
And it hurts me to think that a child wouldn't want to smile because they feel that there's something wrong with their teeth.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I feel you. I have 2 nephews and 2 nieces, and when I went home for Christmas and they saw me brushing, and then I was flossing, and he was like, "Uncle Chris, what are you doing?" I was like, "Well, I'm flossing my teeth to get, the stuff in between the teeth." "Well, why do you do that?" I said, "Well, you have to clean in between your teeth." And I explained to them, I said, "It'll be like you painting just the front and the back of your house and not painting the sides." That's what flossing is like. So, you just don't want to have the front and the back of your house looking nice. You want to have the sides too. So that is flossing. And they said, "Oh," and now they floss automatically. It's automatic.
That's actually really brilliant. I was at PS36 today hanging out with the kids, and we were telling them, okay, this is how you properly brush your teeth. This is how to floss. This is the purpose of flossing. Like, some of them were like, "What is this? We're confused." And we had a big tooth stuff in between to show them how to do it. And a lot of kids don't know that flossing is a really important part of oral hygiene. So
very
it was good,
important.
and we taught a lot of them that today.
Indeed. Well, China, I want to thank you for your time, for getting the word out about dental hygiene and oral health. Is there a website where parents can go, or the kids that are listening to the program can go to just get the basics of dental hygiene?
Yes, there actually is. For more information, you can go to www.guardiansofthesmile.com.
Indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, the incredible actress, China Anne McClain. Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, you rock. And thank you for your support. I really appreciate you.
Oh, thank you so much. And thank you for listening to Access Houston.